So before Unstoppable Baller, I was dealing with a pretty serious knee injury. I tore my ACL, both sides, meniscus, and then I also chipped cartilage off of the bone plate. So 3 surgeries all at once. I went through the whole rehab process. I did their plan to a T. I did every single thing that they had planned for me. I got back into running and things were feeling good for a little bit, and then I started to feel pain, a lot of pain, especially at night. I couldn't even extend my knee fully. It would be excruciating pain. I spoke to different trainers. I spoke to my PT. I went back to my doctor. We had more scans, but nobody really gave me anything. And so reaching out to Unstoppable Baller was basically the last house on the road. You know, honestly, I was at that point where I was starting to lose hope and not just accepting that this is how my knee's going to be and that I'm never going to get back to the way I was. But I can tell you that big things have happened and big things have changed. So I'm really happy with the progress thus far.
So what did you notice changing in your pain, mobility, strength and conditioning, and even your athletic activity in the first 3 months of being with us?
Honestly, it was a very steady and gradual increase in, or I should say decrease in pain. Every single day I do little things to kind of test it out, and I'm to the point now where I can move around in all sorts of ways and I can't even try to find that pain that was so present before. But it's just been so cool. It's been so comprehensive too, because other parts of my body have started to notice changes. Because, you know, I was a little bit baffled when we first started. You know, I told him everything about my knee and the first thing we did was go to my feet. I was like, what's going on here? But over time, understanding the principles and how it all ties together, it just makes so much more sense now. And every time that I engage in movement, I have a different level of body awareness that I never had previously.
What are some movements you've been able to start doing now with your knee that you never thought you'd be able to do?
Mm-hmm.
And what kind of athletic activity have you slowly begun to return to without pain?
Well, the biggest one is the other day I actually stepped foot on the basketball court for the first time since December of 2019 for my injury. And honestly, I was at a place where I had said, I will never play basketball again. A lot of fear surrounding the injury and disbelief that I would ever reach a point where I could safely play basketball again. But that feels feasible. Honestly, I'm listening to my coaches and I'm not going for it yet. But that hope is liberating. That hope is really refreshing, and I truly believe I'll get back. I've also gotten back into running and to sprinting. I'm not sprinting back into sprinting. I'm easing back into these things, and that's all part of the plan and the coaching and the guidance that's been given to me with this program.
How would you best explain the movements you're doing at the Unstoppable Baller to someone that's never done it before? How would you best explain it?
To best describe the movements, it's going to be very unorthodox. I have a background in personal training. I was a licensed personal trainer, and I have done basically none of these movements. A lot of the movements try to tie everything together. So you might be pressing on your big toe while engaging your lats and thinking about balancing something. The workouts are actually more tiring on a physical level and a mental level because there are so many different cues. But what I will say is, as I've done the program more and more, it's become a lot more natural. It's become more intuitive and honestly just smooth. The movement just feels a lot more smooth. And even things where I wasn't even with my coaches. For example, bench pressing. I texted them about this. I haven't really been in the gym that much. And I noticed, okay, if I press my toe through the ground, my glutes engage, my lats engage. Oh wow, I'm benching more and I haven't even been exercising, which is awesome.
What thought patterns and mindset changes have shifted since working with us, and how has that affected your life, people around you?
I would say the biggest thing would have to be patience and trusting in the process. Because, you know, I'll be honest, when I first started, I was in a very skeptical mind state. I'd worked with so many different professional practitioners, and they would give me these, I don't want to say magic bullets, but they would be so firm in their beliefs that this would be it, or you do this and then everything will work out. But what I've seen from working with Unstoppable Baller is that patience and just being deliberate and seeing things from the bigger picture, not just focusing on a small specific issue, but more or less working on the entire system. And that is applicable to every single area of my life, you know, from work to relationships. It's a really beautiful thing.
What's the experience been like working with 3 coaches in your journey? How is that different from anything else you've tried?
That's been really cool. I've never had 3 coaches all working with me with a specifically tailored plan for me and my body, not just a cookie cutter plan, specifically personal to me and my body, where it's at on the day that I show up, you know. So I might show up one day and my body might be in a bit of a different state, but that's the beauty of having 3 coaches with 3 different perspectives, trying to see the entire picture, innovating on the spot. That's how your body is going to see results.
So you've been with us for about 3 months. What do you imagine happening with your body if you continue with this process for the next 4 to 6 months after Unstoppable Baller?
I know that I'll reach my goals. I know that I'll reach my goals. I will run a 50-miler. I will get back to playing basketball. I will get back to doing backflips, maybe not every single day, but I will get back to these things. And ultimately, yes, I have those physical goals, but I think longevity. I think what we're establishing right now is a foundation for longevity. I want to be moving when I'm 60, 70 years old, and I know that that is a reality for sure.
And last, if someone is inquiring about the Unstoppable Baller, never heard of us, on the fence, what would you tell them?
Honestly, go for it, because this is my 2nd knee injury, and I'm well versed in the recovery realm. You will not find a more well-tailored, specific plan to your body where it is at. Because PT, I mean, I don't want to discount anybody with a professional designation. I think they play their part, but you will not find more hands-on care, love, and support. Not just for the not just for the physical aspect, but also for the mental aspect, because I think that's oftentimes neglected as well.
Perfect, man.
How's that?